Dear students, greetings to you. In this video, let me teach you about modal verbs. What are modal verbs? Modal verbs are otherwise called as helping verbs. When the modal verb comes along with the main verb in a sentence, it expresses mode or modality. What does it mean by the word modality here, children? Modality means the feeling of the speaker about the action. Again, I repeat, modality means feeling of the speaker about the action. Look at the example. I can drive a car. Here, can is the modal verb and drive is the main verb. So now tell me, children, what kind of modality or what kind of feeling that's been expressed here about the action by the speaker? Yes, it expresses the feeling of ability of the speaker. Okay, so here the speaker expresses his ability to drive a car. He says that he can able to drive a car. Next, models do not change with the person or number of the subject. It means that models will not undergo any changes based upon the person or number of the subject. Here, he can, they can. So, he is the singular subject and they is the plural subject. So, modal verbs doesn't matter. Okay, modal verbs, they do not consider whether the subject is singular or plural. It remains the same. Whereas the primary verbs such as be verbs, do verbs and have verbs, they undergo changes based upon the person or number of the subject. Now let's see all the other modes or modality that shows the feeling of the speaker about the action. Such feelings are ability, permission, possibility, suggestion, request, necessity, obligation, compulsion, prohibition, willingness, certainty, and purpose. Modals are nearly 13 in numbers. Out of the 13, 9 is called as modal verbs and the remaining 4 is called as semi-modals. So now first let's see those 9 modal verbs. Can and could. The past form of can is could. May and might. And might is the past form of may. Shall, should. The past form of shall is should. Will and would. Would is the past form of will. And the last one is must. So children, so in the following slides, let us discuss about the usages of all these 9 modal verbs. First one is can. Can is used to express ability. Look at the examples. I can ride a bicycle. Ram can climb trees. Sita can sing melodiously. So all these 3 sentences expresses the ability of a person. That Ram can able to climb trees, Sita has the ability to sing melodiously. So children can not only use for expressing ability, it is also used to express request. Look at the examples given. Can I have a cup of coffee? Can you sing a song? Can I take this pen? So all these sentences expresses the request. So children, can is used to express not only ability, it also express request. Now let us see about the modal verb could. Could is the past form of can. So now tell me children, what do this could expresses? Could expresses past ability. That is the ability of a person in the past. Look at these examples children. I could climb trees when I was young. I could climb trees when I was young. I could easily run fast those days. I could easily run fast those days. So what do you notice here children? These 2 sentences expresses the ability of a person to climb trees and the ability of a person to run fast in the past, not now, children. So at present, they do not have that ability to climb trees or to run fast. So they had this ability to climb trees and to run fast only in the past. So now could not only expresses past ability, it also expresses polite request. We already saw that can is used to express the feeling of request. Here the modal verb could expresses the request even more politely. Observe these examples, children. Could I see the manager for a minute? Could you lend me your book? So both these sentences expresses the feeling of request in a polite manner. Now let's see about may. The modal verb may express a lot of modalities, that is, the speaker's intention, such as permission, wish, future possibility, and purpose. Now let's look at some examples to understand all these feelings. Look at the examples for the permission. May I come in, sir? May I help you? So, in these sentences, may is used to express the speaker's intention in seeking permission to get in and to help. Now, let's look at the example for the feeling wish. May God bless you. May you have great success in your life. So, in these two sentences, may expresses the speaker's wish from his bottom of his heart for others. Now let's move on to the modality future possibility. It may come tomorrow, it may rain. So in these two sentences, may expresses the possibility of an action to take place in the future. It may happen or it may not happen. And the last modality, purpose. So observe these examples, children. We eat that we may live. We study well that we may score more marks. So in these two sentences, may expresses the speaker's purpose of doing something or an action. For what purpose we eat, children? We eat to survive. Likewise, for what purpose we study well? Obviously, to score marks. So the modal verb may is used to express the modalities such as permission, wish, future possibility, and purpose. Might. The modal verb might is used to express doubtful possibility, that is, the chances for the action to happen. Look at these examples, children. He might meet you tomorrow. He might help you if you asked him. He might visit you at your home. So all these three sentences expresses the possibility for the action to happen. Children, we also saw the modal verb may expressing possibility. So in some cases, we can also use might instead of may to express possibility. There is no real difference in using may or might. So both are acceptable, children. Then might expresses not only doubtful possibility, it also expresses gentle reproach. Gentle reproach means pointing out a mistake or a fault in a gentle way. Observe this example. You might have told me earlier about it. You might have told me earlier about it. So here the speaker expresses the gentle reproach that why he haven't brought it to his knowledge earlier. Now let's see about shall. Shall, the modal verb, express futurity, suggestions, and offer or promise. Futurity means the future actions, that is, the actions yet to happen in future. Look at these examples, children. I shall meet you tomorrow. We shall watch a movie. I shall come with you. So all these sentences expresses the future actions. Coming to suggestion. Suggestion, children, it means an idea or plan that is put forward for consideration. Observe these examples, children. Shall we go to beach? Shall I call a cab? Shall we play cricket? So these examples express speaker's intention in suggesting to go to beach, to call a cab, or to play cricket. Then offer or promise. So offer is nothing but providing something for someone, And promise is the expression of readiness to do something if desired. Look at these examples. You shall be rewarded if you come first in the class. You shall be appreciated if you get good marks in English. So both these sentences expresses the offer or promise of doing something if the action is satisfied. If the action is satisfied. So in the first sentence, if the action of coming first in the class is satisfied, then he shall be rewarded. In the second sentence, if the action of getting more marks is satisfied, then he shall be appreciated. Should. The main verb should expresses the modality advice. Have a look at these examples, children. You should lock the door when you leave home. You should complete your homeworks. So both these sentences expresses the speaker's intention to lock the door and to complete the homeworks. So here the speaker advices are to be taken and to be followed. Should not only expresses advice, it also expresses the modality, duty or obligation. Have a look at the examples. You should obey traffic rules. You should respect elders. We should take care of our parents during old age. So all these sentences expresses the duties or the commitments that one should follow in his life. Now let's see about will. Will express a lot of modalities such as futurity, determination or promise, request, and impatience and anger. So here futurity denotes the future actions. Look at the examples. They will take the train to Pune tomorrow. He will find a house soon. So here in these sentences will expresses the future actions. So children, already we have seen that shall the modal verb expressing future actions. So both the modals will and shall are used to express the future actions. Coming to determination and promise, observe these examples, children. I will score well in the test. I will get you a new bike for your birthday. So, in these sentences, will express the speaker's strong determination to score well in the exam, and also it shows the speaker's promise to get a bike for the birthday. Now, how come will expresses request, children? Look at these examples. Will you lend me your books? Will you shut the door, please? So, in these sentences, will express the speaker's request to someone for something. And the last one, impatience or anger. Here, when the speaker is at the extreme anger or being impatient, he tends to leave the statements using will. Observe these examples, children. Will you stop fighting? Will this journey never ends? So, the modal verb will is used to express modalities such as futurity, determination, promise, a request, and impatience and anger. Now, let us see about would. The modal verb would express improbable condition and willingness. So, improbable condition is the imaginary condition. That is, it expresses assumptions and impossible consequences. That is, it expresses the things that is impossible to happen, children. So, we can only assume to have been happened in the past. So, look at these examples here. If I were a bird, I would fly. If they sold their houses, they would be rich. So, in these two sentences, would expresses the improbable condition of things that is impossible to happen. Coming to willingness. So, willingness means the readiness to do something. Observe these examples, children. They would like to go home. Subha said that she would go to Delhi the week after. So both these sentences, it expresses, would expresses the speaker's willingness to go home and the speaker willingness to go to Delhi. Now let us see about must. Must the modal verb express necessity, compulsion, and certainty or conclusion? Now look at the examples for necessity, children. We must obey our parents. You must get your teeth cleaned at least once a year. So, in these sentences, must express the speaker's intention of the necessary things to be followed. Coming to compulsion, observe these examples, children. You must finish your assignment by tomorrow. You must get a driving license. So, in these sentences, must express the compulsion of the speaker towards others for certain things to be done. In the first sentence, the speaker says strongly. He is saying strongly that he has to finish or complete his assignment by tomorrow. In the second sentence, he says strongly to get a driving license, which is mandatory. Next, certainty or conclusion. Certainty means the confidence or sureness. You are sure of something. Conclusion means the thought or opinion of a finished event, children. So observe these examples. The new phone must cost a lot of money. I think it must be a good film. So in the first sentence, the speaker is sure to tell that the phone must cost a lot of money. It shows the speaker's certainty. Coming to next sentence, the speaker gives his conclusion saying it is a good film. So the modal verb must express necessity, compulsion, and certainty or conclusion about the action in a sentence. Dear students, I hope you all have understood all these 9 modal verbs. So I'll catch you up with another grammar video. Thank you.